turnaround. So, hey, everybody, this is Love Marlene 411, your channel for trauma healing. So, me and my co host, Miss Nexie, we're here for the sip and chat. Hey, Miss Nexie.
How are you, Miss Marlene? Sorry we had to get out, but we couldn't see you, beautiful people, on our chat. So we had to leave the other one and come back. Miss Marlene wanted us to see you guys here. So hopefully you will join us pretty soon. But nonetheless, we're back. How are you, Miss Marlene?
Doing great. I'm doing great. I can't believe it. We're already here in February, Miss Nexie.
I
February.
know. I was I was just it's a matter of fact, my daughter called me today and we haven't talked for a minute because she's going to school and she's taking care of the baby, so we haven't really we text each other, hi mom, how you doing, or daughter, how you doing, whatever, but we haven't really had a conversation over the phone. Miss Marlene, she called me today. We spent 4.5 hours talking. Four and a
Wow.
half. And she's telling me, "Can you believe it's already the second month of the year?" I said, "Yes." No. I said, "No, I can't." And yes, it's the second month. I said, "And I don't know where the time is going." And then I said, and I said to her, "And now I'm thinking, oh my God, I only have 10 more months to get my everything together so that I can go back to work."
Yeah.
And I haven't
Well,
even gotten used to the not going to work, like just being at home doing nothing. And she started laughing. She's like, "Mom, you'll find, things to do and you'll get everything in order. You won't even," she's like, "you won't even know after today's conversation, you don't even know what day or what month is of the year. I'm not gonna bring it up, and I'm gonna ask all of my siblings not to bring it up. So you don't know what month or what day it is. So you're not freaking out." Because I was freaking out. Hey, realist.
yeah. Yay. We have chat now.
Hi, realist. Yeah, we couldn't see the chat, but here we are. So yeah, I was like so shocked because it's already what, the fourth,
The fifth,
right?
isn't it?
The fifth. I'm not sure. Miss Marlene, I'm not looking at the calendar. I'm not looking at my phone, expecting any phone calls from work or chat. Sending messages, and then I'm not even paying attention to the day, the hours. I got
Yeah.
up at like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock yesterday p.m.
Wow.
I
Must be
know, I know.
must be nice.
No, Miss Marlene, but look, we have no topic. Well, we're going to talk about unhealed people, whatever, but we had no topic because we're going to get into, whatever it is that we're getting into. But, it's weird that the fear, like, I'm taking just a sabbatical, right? It's not that I'm never going back to work. I'm just, taking a break for now. But it's weird that now that I am resting, right? That I'm supposed to be resting and taking my time and as you said previously, healing myself, working on that healing that I need from the kick and the tush that we got from the pandemic. Now that I'm there, all these fears, Miss Marlene, of what if this emergency happens? What if the house gets flooded, even though there's no rain? What if we have like a massive earthquake and the house, goes down or whatever? And where am I going to get the money to repair that? Or what if the insurance doesn't cover this? Or what if I need surgery and it's something huge? All those thoughts, Miss Marlene, and this way of thinking, I haven't had that in years. It's coming back to me. Like I'm freaking out of what if something happens and I'm not working. And I know it's not going to, right? I mean, we don't know, but I'm thinking it has nothing like that has happened this whole time that I've been at work. So why is it going to happen now? But I think it's because I'm not earning a paycheck, right? That paycheck, like that security that we have. And so all these fears and worries and are not allowing me to sleep. I stay
Oh,
up until 4 in the morning worrying about putting all these scenarios. I lay down in bed and I'm thinking and thinking. I'm like, oh my God. So, yes. So I need to heal. Really, when you said that to me, that's why I said, let me know, young lady, because next time I'm going to move, it hit me on my face. Just hit me on my face. But
Wow.
yeah, right?
But
I haven't taken a break in so long. And I'm
Nexie, hold
always, yeah, go ahead.
on, Miss Nexie. We went so far. I didn't even ask you what you were sipping on.
Oh my God, you're right. Well, I am sipping on, well, I just finished it. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you can hear the ice. I had a cran grape juice with a lot of ice because it's a little hot today. But I had a
Okay.
cran grape juice or whatever it is. It's delicious. It's from Ocean Spray and it's cranberry and grape flavor. So the combination is so good because it's not super sweet. It's not sweet or bitter. It's just perfect. And over ice, Miss Marlene, is delicious.
I can imagine. Okay, okay,
What
okay.
are you sipping on, Missy?
Mm.
Oh, ooh, we gotta clean our throat. Go ahead.
So I am having, in my area in Florida and other places, I think it's a southern grocery store. We have Publix, and they have different types of lemonade. And you guys know I'm obsessed with lemonade, right? If you don't know, now you know. So they have like Miss Nexie, I kid you not, they have like nine kinds of lemonade. Okay. They have the
Nine
regular
flavors?
of
Oh
lemonade.
my God.
Let me name them. They have the regular yellow lemonade. Then they
Hmm.
have lemonade. They have mango. They have blackberry. They have raspberry. They have what you call. Then they do the seasonal like peach and mango and orange and passion fruit. So today I got the raspberry one. I got the
Lemonade with
raspberry
all
lemonade.
these different fruits and it works?
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God. I'm not a lemonade person. I know you know that. And if you
You
don't know, now you know.
dagger into my heart, Miss Nexty. I don't know if we can be friends. And
Oh,
I,
you don't have to worry about that. We are going to be friends, even if you don't want to be my
I thought I liked her, guys. Sorry.
friend.
Okay, that's tonight. Bye, guys.
Listen, you're not gonna get rid of me that easy. I don't care if you don't want to be my friend. You're going to be my friend no matter what.
Oh,
Even
Miss
if I
Nex,
don't like living it.
tell them what I sent you on the first week of the year. You remember with the cat?
Oh. The contract that I didn't need to sign,
Yeah.
that we were friends again, whether I liked it or not. Yeah, I took it to my lawyer, said that there's nothing I can do about that, Miss Marlene.
It said, guys, it said
It
that
renewed.
her contract had been renewed for another year of friendship.
Whether I like it or not. Okay, that wasn't like that kitty cat is so cute, but when he says our friendship has been renewed, whether you like it or not, we're gonna be friends for the rest of the year. Yeah, that freaked me out a little, Miss Marlene. Lawyer says nothing we can do with crazy people.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it because you noticed how the bottom said whether or not you like
Yes.
it.
And which I'm saying right now, you cannot not be my friend anymore. You sent me that. So whether you like me or not for not liking lemonade, you are stuck with me, Miss Marlene. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that because you're my good friend and I love you. So that's all I'm gonna say. But you're gonna be my friend, woman.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay,
Oh,
so next, where did we pick up? Uh, Where were you talking before I interrupted you? I apologize.
where was I? I don't even know where was I. I don't even know what I was talking about, Miss Marlene.
I don't.
Oh, I was talking about work. How everything is so weird about all the things that. I'm worrying about like this weird events of, what if we have a tsunami? What if we have an earthquake and I'm not working? And how am I going to pay for all these things? Insurance. If I have insurance, right? I'm insured. But what if I have surgery and the copayment is so much money that I'm not working? I cannot get it. All these things that I don't need to worry about are coming to my mind, are preventing me from actually having a restful, sleep, a restful night. And so I end up going, falling asleep, completely asleep, like around sometimes 4 or 5 in the morning. Some days I wake up like 2, 3 hours later, but yesterday I woke up at 1:30. I
PM?
was like, yes, 1:30 p.m. I'm like, what in the world? But I looked at, what time I fell asleep because I have, my smartwatch. And I was like, I fell asleep like around 5:30. So
Mm.
there's no way that, and it's giving me this anxiety because I'm overthinking events or things that can and maybe or not happen. I'm doing all that because I haven't been without a job ever, right? Or for this, it's only been 2 months, but I'm worrying because we are mom and dad to our children, right? So we're always worried that what if I don't have, if they need anything and I cannot provide. And even though my children are grown, they're adults, they have their own marriages and whatever, always, as a mom, you're always there. You're always thinking about what's going to happen if I'm not able because I'm not working right now, even though I planned perfectly the time off and the wages and everything is taken care of, but my head goes in every direction, Miss Marlene, when it comes to that. It's just, it's so weird.
Yeah, Miss Nexty. I think I'm gonna go around the in a circle and come back to your thought. Do you think that that's the reason why, as we get older, why we can't sleep? Because as we get older, there's more and more things that we can't control, and that's the reason why we have insomnia. That's what I was thinking about. Like, I no, these are the things that I think about 3 o'clock in the morning when I can't sleep.
You too, right?
Yeah.
But Miss Marlene, yes and no, because I have met people that are, they have early retire in their careers. They're traveling the world, they're enjoying life, and they have taken care of whatever it is so their income is okay, right? They don't worry about these things. It's just enjoying life. I think I come across more people, I think, in my industry that have no, that have, those nights that they cannot sleep and everything. But I think it's because of the schedules we have. I think that's what it is because we work nights, we work 24-hour shifts, we work 12-hour shifts, and sometimes it's at nighttime. I think that that's why we are more prone, I think, not sure, not scientific. It's not nothing that I've seen on any book or I haven't read any like that, but I think that it's because of that we sometimes suffer from that, from insomnia, I think.
Mm.
But
Y
yeah, we
y
overthink, right? Because
Yep.
when you have a partner, when you're like in mom and dad household, if you're out of work, you have your partner that can pick up whatever, right? Because that person is working. But when you're alone and you're mom and dad for your kids, you don't have that support, so your
Mhm.
mind goes everywhere.
Mhm. Yes.
And it's the first time in years that I'm off like this, like that I have nothing to do.
Yeah. That I can't imagine that, Miss Nexie. We're living, most people never get to that point of that they can ever step back, even if they wanted to, because of their, situation. So,
Yeah, their obligations, and I planned it, Miss Marlene. I've been saving. I took out an insurance that I had been paying since 2020 for this exact thing, because I was thinking, like, the pandemic was in full mode. I took out this insurance that if I was out of work for whatever reason, they will pay 80% of my salary, right? It's like a personal insurance, like a liability type of thing. And I've been paying it all these years, and I was like, you know what? I called them. I found out it, if the terms and conditions that they need, and how I qualify for this and that. So I got to qualify, and they are going to pay me like 80% of my salary, right? But you still have that in your mind that I'm not at work. So what if? And it makes no sense, because I will never take time off like that without planning it way in advance for make sure that I have my rent, my food, my bills, everything covered. Like, I will never be that irresponsible, right? Especially with someone with special needs. But still, I have that thing in mind, like, and then I go back to, why am I worrying? I have the right to be in this situation, right? I have the right to take off. I have the right to take a sabbatical. I have the right to have time to myself without having to have that busy schedule. But I think, because we're so responsible, right? Because being in charge for so long, and I think some of us, you and I, and a lot of our people that follow us, we've been working since we were so young, that is kind of like weird not having that responsibility. I don't know if I'm making myself
Yeah.
clear. I don't know. But I don't know if you get me. Like, we've been working for so long that it feels foreign not to have that
Yeah.
responsibility.
Feel right. Like, okay, for instance, Miss Nexie, one of the things that I'm working on, healing that part of me, is giving myself the permission to take a day off, whether paid, unpaid, like taking a day for my mental health, just taking a day, like if I just want to relax or whatever. Because for so many years, when you get used to, you're in that zone that I have to work, I have bills, I have responsibilities, that a lot of times we neglect ourselves, our mental health. And I know for me, I lost my mother and father, and I was back to work within 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like they told me that too. Either you come back to work in 3 days or you have no job. So and for me, that's another,
Horrible.
yeah, that's another, what you call it? That's another trauma, because it's like
Mm.
you can't heal, and because you got to work, you got
You
to
can
act.
mourn.
You can't mourn, you can't do anything that you want to do. And I feel it's just so disgusting to me, Miss Nexie, for real. I think this world is disgusting when it comes to giving people time to grieve. Like, I don't care what job you have. It shouldn't be like, oh, you all, and they defined it too, like who died. Because certain people, like if it was like your aunt or uncle or somebody, they say that's not immediate family, so you don't get any time off.
How do they know that that wasn't the person that raised you? You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be like that, Miss Marlene. And you're right. I think it's I my brother lived in Australia for many, many years. His family, because he got divorced from his wife, but his kids and his ex-wife are still there. And it's so different than it is here. The way
Mhm.
they work, like if they have a something in the family, even if, let's say, mom is sick or grandma is sick, whatever, and they call in, my somebody in the family is sick and I'm not going to be in for the next 4 or 5 days. Oh, no problem, take your time, don't worry about it, come back when you're ready. And my niece was telling me that sometimes they only pay her like for half a day of every day that she doesn't show up to work, but they pay her. If somebody, if you lose someone, somebody dies in the family, you can take up to a month with the same perk. They you get paid for, I don't know what type of work I don't remember what type of company she works for, but she was telling me that it's very common that they understand that sometimes things happen where she works, and she loves her job. And
Wow.
here you can't. Even when you don't feel well, they have to make sure that you are really, really sick. Like, how sick are you? Like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm sick. That's all you need to know, right?
Yeah, they go too far.
Yeah, I don't
And
know. I don't want to criticize. I don't want to sound ungrateful for living in a place like the United States, because it's a beautiful country, right? But I think that sometimes, as we go on the daily and and progress, catches up with all of us and everything. Sometimes we forget humanity, right? The part that makes us beautiful people. I think that a lot of companies sometimes forget the part, the humanity part that they should have towards their employees. Not every
and
company.
right. And another thing that I feel that jobs don't understand, like you have uh, somebody in your family that has special needs, or if you're a caregiver or something like that, they don't understand because my situation is not like everybody's situation. That yes, she's my child, but she's also my sister, and they don't understand. Well, is she an adult? Well, then why doesn't she take care of herself? They don't understand she has special needs. Well, then get somebody to take care of her.
Are you going to
It's like
pay for it?
what I'm trying to talk about, like, there are certain things, Miss Nexie, you understand having
Yep.
somebody in your family, your son, and having special needs. You understand that sometimes it doesn't matter who is with them. They only want you at that time, and they're gonna keep
Yeah,
having a member until you get there.
exactly. Sometimes, and you cannot just leave him with anyone, because they are special needs, so you don't know what these people can do to them or will do to them. So you cannot really just go and say, oh yeah, let me hire a nanny from this app and that's it. You can't do that like you probably will do with a child that can express if anything happens to them. They can tell you, oh, she hit me, or she yelled at me, or he whatever. With special needs, you don't have that advantage or that luxury. And when they say, I don't want that person, they mean it,
Yeah,
and
or
they will
or like,
not stay with anyone.
in our with people who are special needs, they'll say they're back. So
Mm,
it's yeah, I was like,
oh
they're back.
no, and I don't want him here. I don't want him here. You have to go home. And you have to go home, and that person that it was supposed to be taking care of them because you have to go to work or whatever can no longer stay in the house because they don't want them there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I want to acknowledge that comment that Realist put in the chat. We just put on a smile and keep it pushing, and that's one of the things, like I really want to talk on this channel because we talk about trauma healing on this channel. Miss Nexie, I still have not really touched the tip of that pain. How hurt I felt that a job was like, "Get back to work in 3 days or you're fired," and I just lost my mother.
Oh my God, I cannot even imagine, Miss Marlene. I really can't. I cannot even
Actually,
imagine how painful that must have been.
it was twice because remember, my dad died in October and then my mom died in May. So I lost both parents in 7 months. All I
Oh
got
my God.
all I got off in those 7 months was 6 days.
Oh my God. Did you leave that company?
Yeah, eventually I quit it, but the thing about it is when I was going through that, I wasn't in the space that I am now. That now I'm at this space, like, if I ever had a job and they were like, You get back here in 3 days," I
Girl,
know
bye.
now, "Forget you, screw you, I'm out of here."
Yeah,
Be
bye.
person now, but at that time, all I could think about, I have bills, I have to be responsible, I got people who need me, I can't.
I
I
got my
wasn't
kid, my special needs kid that needs me. I cannot even imagine. I can't. And first, before we keep on going, hello, First Lady. I saw her in the chat. So, hi, First Lady. How are you?
yeah, hey,
I forgot to say
how's
hi.
it? Thank you guys so much for all being here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and again, it's and the thing here, Miss Marlene, is they expect you to go back to work with the smile on your face, right? Like, yeah, it was just your dad, but 3 days is more than enough. Go on. Like, this is your assignment. Just do it with the smile on your face. And then when you complain about something or you're not doing your job the way that you're supposed to because you're still grieving, you're still hurting, you're still mourning, they reprimand you, or they say like, hey, you're not up to your potential. It's like, how can I? You didn't allow me to heal or mourn or whatever, and I'm still mad at you because you didn't allow me to do these things, like stay home and you know protect my heart and cry when I wanted to, and be with my family so that we could all mourn our parents and heal together, like, and they want you to do everything with a smile on your face.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's so sad.
it's always some. I usually don't acknowledge ignorant trolls, but I'm gonna. They want to go toe to toe today. I'm feeling froggy. Okay. Um,
Ho, 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 ho.
they said I'm ignorant, right? Because that's what bereavement time is. So you should have taken it. Time to bereave. Let me tell you something. You go and lose your mother and father in 7 months, and then you tell me how it feels. You can never tell somebody how they feel. You
I
stay in your
can't.
lane of business. You probably live in the basement with your mother. Mind your own business and stay off my channel.
Well said. I couldn't have said it better myself. But ignorant people. The thing here, Miss Marlene, is that a lot of times because we have so much at stake when it comes to our special needs, our extended family sometimes, or whatever the case is, sometimes we neglect, right? Sometimes we neglect our needs and put everything aside just so that we can continue to provide and whatever their needs are, and for rent and for this and for that, and it takes a toll on us, just continuing to show up for everybody and not show up for us. It takes a toll on you, and sometimes, and this is why I'm doing this now, Miss Marlene. I wanted to take this time off, and I wanted to, because too, I lost my dads, both of them, 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, and I haven't really taken any time off to go through the emotions of what happened, and feel exactly the humongous loss that is. But when you're at work, you cannot go through that because it's not going to be just a 1 day cry and then I'm going back and I'm going to be fine. No, it comes in stages, right? 1 day you're okay, the next day you're crying all day, then the following day you're crying all day, and then the fourth day you're okay. And that's how it goes. It's not something that you plan, it's just, you know, the way that it is. But I have not done any of that. It hasn't really hit me yet, exactly what the amount, or probably the depth of everything that I have gone through in this past 3 years. So now that I am here, I think that's why I'm feeling so nervous and so anxious, is because I know that eventually I'm gonna have to deal with that. I'm gonna have to feel everything, right? And so I'm kind of like, "Oh, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know." I have to keep myself busy, and I'm in that busy mode, but I still have so much to. to heal. And I think that's the reason why also, Miss Marlene, that I'm not sleeping, you know, the a normal sleep pattern. It's only been a month, right? That I've been at
Yeah.
home, but still, there's so much inside that I still have to process with, again, losing my dad's, that I haven't. I've been avoiding it.
Yeah, but now, Miss Nexie, you have to give yourself the permission. That's one thing that I did. I didn't tell Miss Nexie. She's hearing just like you guys. I have not retired like Miss Nexie or stepped back for a while, but I have taken 1 day off now in the week from
You
working
have.
permanently. Yeah, because I
That's
was like,
good.
I need a break in the middle of the week. Like going for 5 days straight was like breaking me down. And I knew that. I was like, well, this is what it's going to be. I need a break. So I was like, if they don't take it, if they don't like it, oh, well, then I'll find somebody else. And they're like, okay, sure. I was like, what?
Oh,
I couldn't,
wow.
I thought they were going to be like, what you need it for? And we need a doctor's note. They were like, okay.
Oh, that is nice.
I was like, what? I was ready. And I was like, I've been here.
You're like, no fight. What? I already had this awesome speech. I was gonna go, through with you guys and go toe to toe and fight. But if I don't need to, I guess I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah.
But
But I Miss Nexie because I was like, you know how like I was in front of the mirror and I had all these. I was like, and I've been a good employee,
you
and you're
practice
not
that too.
gonna fire me. And they're like, okay. I was like, but yeah,
So you were practicing it, Miss Marlene? You were practicing in front of the mirror? I do that too. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go
I was
tell them this, and I get myself all pumped up, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say that, and then when you go in there, they're like, oh, if that's how you feel, then yeah, go ahead. And you're like, what? No arguing here. I had a whole speech ready for you guys. You don't want to hear it?
like, that's the whole thing. Okay, Miss Nancy, let's not get away from the subject, but I want to talk about something that I really haven't heard people talk about, which we
Hmm.
probably can push it into another sip and chat on another time. But I do think in talking about insomnia and other issues, there's a lot of unresolved things and healing things and trauma that happened in C19 that people have not addressed because they really couldn't because they went from isolated to be like everything's fine, you're okay, get back and act normal when you weren't normal because if you like me, another passing away because I lost my brother in C19,
Hmm.
never the same because for those of you who don't know, during C19, we weren't allowed to have funeral. You couldn't get together and have a funeral. You couldn't do any of those things. And then it's like, it, okay, I'll take you guys along with my processing of it. Like,
Hmm.
just get a phone call from the hospital. Hey, yeah, your brother coded. Who's gonna sign papers?
Wow. Just like that.
Yeah, it was like there was like no feeling, and they're like, "Okay, oh, yeah, just come down to the hospital, like whatever." I was like, "Huh? What? What happened?" Oh yeah, when you come down, they'll let you know what happened because they were losing so many people, and I don't think it was on purpose that they were trying to be so cold, but people were passing so rapidly. They're like, "Okay, call," and they were just like going down a list, and the same thing they were saying to everybody. They pass. Who's going to sign papers? Who will pick up their belongings? Yada yada yada. That's it.
And it kind of was like that for some people, like some hospitals will do that, just like, hey, he coded or he passed or whatever. And I've heard that a lot, that people are not that we're not the same as we were before, C19. We're not the same because we got used to, for, almost 3 years to communicate just either by phone, text, computer screen, or no visits, no from
No
you to
hugs.
them or from them to you, no hugs, no, not having those weekly dinners that sometimes we used to have. And the thing is that I cannot go back to that. I don't know why I haven't been able to go back to allowing people in the house and having all this, it's weird. I don't know why I can't.
Because we're not the same. Like, even till this day, like, I don't want people I'm like, "Yo, you need to back up," like, when people are too close to me, like, yeah, I like, put up my hand, like, "You need to take a few steps back." Like, I don't know, like, some people just don't get it about boundaries, and I feel
Hmm.
like I have a lot of issues now with personal space. And I don't know if it's because of losing my brother or C-19 or a combination of things. Now I can't stand for people to be too close to me. I was like,
I
I
think
can't, I can't breathe.
I think it's a combination because um y- okay, so when C19 was about to hit us, and it's a weird thing, Miss Marlene, because I was semi-retired. I think I've said this to you before. I was semi-retired, just making sure that my kids were okay. My little one was still in school, so I'm just home. I would work 1 or 2 days a month, but not more than that because I didn't have a sitter, right? And I don't trust anyone. So I wasn't working full time. My boss, um, in December of 2019, my boss says to me, I'm gonna, you need to find someone um, that can help you with your son. If you have someone you trust, you're gonna need to find someone because I'm gonna need you. And I was like, whoa, I already working like once or twice a month. He said, no, 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 no. Something huge is coming. I cannot say more to you, but something big is gonna hit us in a few months, and I'm gonna need you full time. So please find someone that you trust. That and I was like, it can't be that bad. And he said, next thing you know, I'm not someone that exaggerates. I'm not like that. I'm not that, type of person. So if I'm telling you it's big, it's big. But I never expected that huge of a deal. So I kind of like prepped. When he hit us, Miss Marine, I had already spoken to my ex-husband and I said, hey, you're gonna have to help me with him because I'm gonna have to work. He was a little confused because he was like, why? And I said, I don't know, but I'm gonna need you. He's like, yeah, no problem. He was already retired at this point. When
Mm.
I had to make all those changes that you cannot have contact, you cannot be next to each other, you cannot hug, you cannot visit, when I got all of that, my anxiety went to the roof. But the thing for me was mostly I gotta protect my son, right? Because he doesn't know how to communicate if he's not feeling well, if he has air or doesn't have air, if it hurts or doesn't hurt like that. Like he doesn't know how to communicate those things. So my protection always was towards him. But like you said, we never got the chance to process or get out of that stage of fear and isolation and no contact and solitude, because that's exactly where you go with this. So for me, it
Mhm.
was a big deal, but I didn't allow my mind, body, or anything to process it. I just went along with the flow. And
Oh,
that is why I wanted to take this time off too. Because ever since then I haven't taken any time off. And I have been go, 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 go. So I haven't made any time for visits in my house. I used to have once or a month, I used to have my book club. Sometimes we used to just get together because I have a support group of parents with special needs. And I have not been able to do that in almost 5 years. So
Wow.
none of what happened in our COVID distancing and everything has been able to get out of my system. And like you said, I'm still that person too, Miss Marlene, that keeps everybody at arm's length. Keep my son
Yeah.
super protected. I'm gonna come visit you. No, 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 it's okay. You know what? They say that they have a little like a flu going around. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Or if I don't see you, then we'll talk on the phone. We can like do like a FaceTime or whatever. So I'm still keeping that distance, and it's not easy to allow people to get back in. It's not. I'll be
Miss
lying, right?
Miss Nexie, but nobody is saying these things. Like, I don't know why people are like, "Oh yeah, I'm good, I'm fine. Oh, C-19 did nothing to me. I'm good." Like, I understand because there are individuals that were already what you call it? I can't think of the term. They were already introverts, so they weren't
Mm-hmm.
really much of going
Affected
out.
by.
Yeah, they weren't really affected, but as for individuals like you and I and others who were, having the job in person and going out and having friends and, doing things, then it was like, nope, all of that is done.
And
Oh,
also, Miss Marlene, think about this. A lot of us work like you, me, and a lot of people sometimes that we come across here. We work in the medical field, right? We saw
mhm,
that firsthand. A lot of people in certain states, it was like in New York, it was really bad. Here in Cali, it was bad. Other big cities were bad, but some cities wasn't as bad as it was here. So when somebody says, "Oh, I'm okay," yeah, we had to keep our distance and whatever, but we're back because they didn't see all the things that you and I got to see.
let's
So
see, they
yeah, it
weren't
didn't affect them the same way it did to us because they weren't in the thick of things. We were.
they were
We
they
were
weren't on they weren't on the front line, Miss Nexie, and I'm
exactly,
trying to be like, you know, like bring people down and stuff, but they weren't zipping up body bags.
exactly.
So
They
I'm
weren't
just going,
seeing. They weren't seeing a 24-year-old patient zero
yeah,
with the lack of breathing die in front of you because he couldn't get any air. And I haven't processed. I still see that face. I still see that pleading, and there's nothing you can do. So if you haven't experienced that, you cannot tell people, just get over it. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
don't know why you guys keep on talking about it. I mean, it happened, but we're okay. We're
yeah,
alive. We're still here. And yeah, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful to God that, nothing happened to me and I'm still here. But I still mourn,
yeah.
for those parents, for those children that lost parents, for those parents that lost children. I still mourn for them because their loved one is not here. I lost a lot of friends as well. And the fact that I got to see what they went through at the hospital with me before, they took the last, because of that, I can almost picture what my friends went through. So that's another layer of, you know, kind of like trauma that we
Yeah.
still, to this day, I still haven't. We went through therapy from work, they sent us, but I couldn't get myself to talk about what it did exactly. Like, I talked about the loss and the kind of feeling of um, that I was good for nothing because my job is to save life, right? My job
Mhm.
is to make people better. And I couldn't do anything for these people. And you feel guilty. But that is
It's
as far as I went. I didn't bring it into a personal level with the
yeah,
therapist. And that's what I have to do, Miss Marlene.
yeah. But
I have
my
to.
thing Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Nexie.
Oh, no, no, no. Go on, go on. Go on, Miss Bunny.
Miss Nexie was like what I do for work and everything, working in the medical field, and I help and I save lives every day, right? But
Hmm.
I feel like the life I wanted to save the most, I couldn't. And I think that has like really affected me deep within. And maybe a lot of people don't know how to articulate that because it's like
Hmm.
just, of course, your life has to go on and you can stay in that dark space. It's not that I don't know those things, and it's not that other people don't know these things, but you're expected to be, you have to be okay when you're not. Like, how can you be okay and some traumatic things happened? You don't even have the time to grieve. It's like, okay, like I could take off a month, like these bills are gonna sit on the shelf for a month. So those are the individual same problems.
Miss
Like,
Marlene, I want done for me. Okay, the loss of so many patients, because some days it was 10, 15 lives that we would lose. Some days there were none, but there were other days that were like, heavy, 15, 20. And so you see this for 3 years, on and on and on and on. What that did to me, has done to me, and is doing to me, because I haven't addressed it the way I'm supposed to, is that it's not allowing me to have the same rapport with my patients. I
mm,
cannot get that same um, attachment and the same happiness and the same, I don't know, feelings of joy to see them like, okay, he's getting better. The minute they come in with something like, an infection, a flu or something, my head goes straight into, oh my God, what if I lose him? So I distant myself. I still take care of it and everything, but it's not like before. I cannot go back there. And it's so weird because I was always so very attached. And I know in medicine, they tell you you're not supposed to get attached to your patients. You're not supposed to do that. But I always did. I always did. I always saw them like if they were like my kids or my grandkids or, my little nephew, my little niece. I always looked at them that way because in my heart, when you make someone that is ill part of your family, you do everything and more. And you do it with
yes,
a lot more love than if you just look at them as a stranger, right?
yeah.
But now I can't do that. I can't.
Like me, Miss
Uh,
Nexie, COVID-19, I used to be like so, how could you say, like compassionate. Not that I'm not compassionate to patients, but I used to be like, "Hey, how you doing?" Hold their hand. How are you doing? Because I've seen so many people go, like I can't let my heart go there anymore. I'm just like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like I'm
yep.
doing everything, but my heart isn't the same in it. That's why I have been feeling like I think I'm going to be changing my career soon because
Yeah.
I feel like my heart is just not, and I feel bad to say that, Miss Nixie, but it's the truth. My heart is not in it like it was pre-19. And a lot of things that people don't understand as well with 19 is that people who were frontline workers, anybody who helped people, service people, customer service, anything, if you dealt with people, you saw a lot, you went through a lot, and you were not giving given a support like breaks. Actually, you were like, you need to work more, and you need to, and this one, and, you were always like, pick up the slack. It was crazy. It was.
Hmm.
I don't know what else.
It was too chaotic. And for me, I could never see myself changing my what I do because I love what I do. I it's not a job for me. It's not work. It's just joy. I really enjoy what I do. But I'm more reserved now. I'm more distant. I'm not, I get, of course, I do the treatment, I get involved, whatever, but it's not the same way because it's always that fear. What if, I get a touch and then I lose this one? Or what if, so the what if is always there. And,
Mhm.
or, you know, you cannot, you cannot go back. The trauma is already there. You cannot go
Mhm.
back to before that. But what I'm trying to do now that I'm going to be at home and I'm going to have more time for me is I'm trying to go back to therapy and make it personal because I didn't do that. I only said what I had to say so that I could go back to work, right? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I talked a little bit about it and yeah, it kind of made me scared, blah, blah, blah. But I only did just the bare minimum so that I could go back to work.
Mhm.
But it didn't help because I wasn't truthful. Because at that point, Miss Marlene, I didn't even think I needed to go into depth of what happened or how I felt because I was so exhausted, emotionally done that I didn't even think it affected me. That's how bad it was. I was like, yeah, they died in.
Mhm.
It happened. So what can we do? We just gotta move on. Like after I started analyzing and I started desensitizing from that shock is when I started feeling all that. And I started seeing the faces, the pleads, that look that they give you and that you can do nothing about.
Mhm.
There's
Yep.
done, then I will close my eyes and I will see my patient zero. I will
Uh-oh, Miss Nexie.
I need to take some time off. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I lose you, Miss Marlene?
Oh, it
I'm
was
sorry.
you were sounding like T-Pain for a second, but you're back.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me okay?
Good now.
Okay, okay, good. Yeah, so I wasn't even aware of how much how affected or how much it injured me because that's an injury, right? It's probably not a visible one. You cannot, it's not a broken hand, but it's a broken heart and a broken spirit. So you have to fix that. And a lot of people I know they don't like this, but for me, what we do here with you and I, which is why I always thank you, because this is healing. This is therapy. Talking about your how you felt, talking about how vulnerable you were, talking about how scared we were, Miss Marlene, because we were petrified. I
Yeah.
was petrified. I didn't know like what to do. How this was new to everyone, so I was so scared.
Mhm.
And you cannot feel scared because in the type of work we do, you can't do that. You cannot show that emotion. It's not
Yeah,
what you're there.
Miss Nexie, like the hard part is you lose the patient, right? You have to go into every patient like nothing happened. You can't like you can't ever show that you're having a bad day, you're sad, you're going through it, and all of those things. I like I have to give myself sometimes like 5 minutes, and I'll just take a deep breath, sometimes scream, something, or I'll journal, write down something. That was a nice guy. That was a nice lady. I wish them all the best. I hope God is with them, whatever. And then I move on to the next person because I don't think it's fair to a patient to go in there with an attitude or be like low energy. You know what I mean?
Or a matter of fact, right? It died, so I'm sorry.
like to show
That's
up
it.
and things like that. So I always said that if I ever lose my compassion, then it was time for me to
To move on.
leave, to move on. And Miss Nexie, I hate to say it, I'm starting to feel myself pulling away. I don't feel the compassion that I
Then,
used to.
then it's time to move on, Missy.
Mhm.
It's time to move on. For me, again, it was not until when everybody, when you, like, when we went to that kind of like somewhat normal state when we were able to not wear a mask, right? When we already had the vaccine and we could be without a mask and we could go into the markets. And when that happened, that's when I started kind of like breathing and saying, okay, what just happened? What did I just went through? Because, of course, thank God that at that point, that we had more control on the patients. We had somewhat a cure, right? How to help them more, and we had a more vivid understanding of what was going on as compared to the beginning. We weren't as scared as we were when it first started. But that's when it hit me like, okay, I just lost all these hundreds and hundreds of people. They're in my watch because I was there. I couldn't do anything for them. And then you start hearing the screams of the people you tell that their loved one is gone. That mother that literally fainted in front of you when you said he's gone. You start seeing all of that and feeling all of that, something that I didn't give myself the permission to do because I didn't want to break down with them. So I will be tough and say, hey, look, I'm very sorry. This happened and I'm really, truly sorry, and walk away. And I will leave it there, not bring it to the next patient, right? But
Because you
once
have.
once that ended and we were able to breathe and understand what just happened, all the questions, all the screams, the faces, the pleadings, the crying of families on the phone when we used to do the FaceTime so they could say goodbye. All of that came back like a tsunami. And ever since I have had even
Uh-oh.
anything, like I've been on stealth mode, just flying here. That's all. Just gonna hang in here.
No, but Miss Nexie, these conversations is to show that it's not normal because there was a comment in the comment section. Eric asked, how do you deal with it? How do you cope with it? And everybody is different. But for me, I remember when I was in school to do this, my instructor told me on your days off, get a what is my instructor reminded me of, that line in that movie, what is the movie where she's a doctor, and she sees, she meets it, oh, it was called Lighthouse.
Okay.
And she gave her the advice that on your day off, get far away and, do things. That's the same advice that my instructor gave me. And I apply that. Like you can't just be at home and work. You gotta have a place where you can unpack. For me, that's the beach and the park or the gym. I have to have a place that I can just relax and not think about work and not think about home. Because if you don't have a place that you can go to uh, to to just be in the moment of just enjoying the beauty, the sunset, the whatever it is, and just thinking about yourself, you'll you really won't last. You really won't last.
Yeah. But again, when we were, how can I put it? Even when I had the time off, Miss Marlene, I myself didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to feel that pain. I still don't. Like I don't want to go there, but I know that I have to go there. It's not a matter of should I want or not want to. I have to because I don't want to continue on the career that I love so much, with my patients and everything to be affected in the long run because I don't want to deal with this. So this year that for me, how I deal with it is by talking, which is why I always thank you, Miss Marlene. Because saying it out loud, for me, that's actually a form of therapy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about it. I'm saying it. I'm letting myself hear when I'm saying how I felt and letting it out a little bit helps me a lot. I'm not someone that needs a place to go like you need either a park or the beach or whatever to do this. I don't. For me, it's solitude. I go
Okay.
into my room, I lock myself in there. Sometimes I have my ex-husband pick up the kids and I say, hey, I need to deal with something. Can you keep them for the weekend? Or can you keep them for the next 4 or 5 days, whatever? And he will do that. Or if he's not available, I have a certain nannies that can come and I say, hey, I need you to be with him at least for the next 24 hours or whatever. And I deal with it in solitude. I need to be in a room alone because I got used to, since I was little, to deal with that by myself.
Mm.
But I have learned also through therapy that talking about it helps a lot. It can help me. It can help me heal without feeling that I have to deal with it in silence.
Yeah, and you don't, and that's the thing, Miss Nexie. I'm not telling you how to feel, how to cope with it and everything. I just want not only you, but anybody who's listening that we're so used to always having to do it alone. And I'm just going to encourage you that you don't have to do it alone.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
Miss Sexy, yes, you know, grieve, be sad, be angry, be all of those things in your private time. But also after that, I love that now I'm in the next space of my healing, which I'm very grateful for. That now I take my time and yes, I get angry, I get sad, I'm in my feelings, and then I know that I have to go and listen in a support group when somebody is talking like I'm in a medical support group and they talk about when a patient didn't make it or they had cancer or they had this, they had that, whatever the case may be, and they didn't survive. And hearing from other, medical staff the things that they've seen and gone through and how they cry and they're sad and they blame themselves unless you do that line of work, you can't understand that. Like people say, "Oh, just let it go. It's just work." No, it's not.
No,
It
it's
you
not because, no, it's not.
literally people's lives. So,
Exactly.
so it's not just work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
So
that's the thing, in the very beginning, people like were saying like, you're gonna lose a lot of people, right? So don't make it personal. Don't make it like you have to deal with this. Just there's a lot of us dealing with them. There's a lot of us going through the motion. To personal and don't make this loss personal. And I'm thinking, well, I mean, if I don't get into what am I there for?
uh,
You know what I mean? Like
Nexie,
that
a
needs.
second, Miss Nexie. Can you say that one more time?
Did I lose you?
Yeah, it
Oh no,
went
no.
out.
I'm saying that. I'm so sorry. I think I'm going through an area that has really poor reception.
Okay.
But no, they were telling me not to. not to make it personal. I'm sorry, I'm driving. So, not to make it a personal matter, not to take it too personal. It's not your job to take it personally, right? But I'm thinking, but that's how I am. These are my patients, they're mine, right?
Mhm.
I'm here to help them, to try to heal them. And it's a personal thing for me to do that. So how can I detach and say, oh yeah, I mean, it's C19, so he's gonna die. I'm gonna help him. But yeah, he's gonna go. No problem. I can't do that. And I cannot forget, the fact that, hey, he was here, he was smiling, everything, and then now he's gone.
Yeah,
You cannot get that out of your head. And like you said in the beginning, Miss Marlene, the fact that you couldn't deal with the grief by actually having a body and taking it to the morgue and, burying it, you couldn't. They weren't giving you any bodies. So the
yeah,
family had to either, be okay with a mass grave for all these people or waiting, what, 3 years, 4 years for their body if they ever got it?
yeah. We didn't get the body until my brother's body passed in 2021. We got it in 23.
Wow. Until 2023? Hello, Miss Marlene?
I'm
I
here.
don't know if you hear me. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No, I'm saying until 2023.
we didn't get it until 3 years later. So that's a
Imagine the family going through that,
that's a whole different animal, Miss Nexie. I can't. Yeah.
which is why when people say just get over it. I mean, it happened, it happened. I'm thinking, where's your humanity, dude? Where's your heart?
Put the
Or
compassion. Uh-oh.
because you don't tell people just get over it,
Uh,
especially doing all the heavy lifting. You cannot just tell them get over it. You can have a little bit of, compassion for that friend or the family member and saying, you know what, I listen to you. Just unpack. Just go ahead. I'm not gonna judge. Just do it. Just tell me what you feel. Tell me. But nobody's doing that.
mhm.
When you start talking about it, they tell you, oh yeah, it was a horrible thing. Oh, forget about it. Oh, no, I don't want to hear it. Oh, I want just to forget. And I'm like, but we can't
Yeah.
because we were frontline.
Yeah. That's the thing about it. And I'm not trying to sound insensitive to some people. Not
Mhm.
that people don't have hard jobs, but if you weren't doing things like literally seeing people take their last breath and things like that and zipping up body bags, that's a whole different thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes.
So I I was saying to somebody that it's not that medical staff doesn't want to grieve, but you don't get an opportunity to grieve because you
Thank
got
you.
stuff going on. You got your home stuff going on, and guess what happens? You're back at work. So,
Exactly.
hey, pray tell, when am I supposed to grieve? When am I
And that's
supposed
another. Exactly, Miss Marlene. I'm sorry to interrupt you because you just said something that I had completely forgotten about. And is how your loved ones feel that you're in the midst of it, that you are right there, and the worry that they
Mhm.
have if you don't answer that phone
Yeah,
in 4 or 5 hours, or if you don't answer your phone the whole day because you haven't even had. Miss Marlene, we used to go, sometimes I used to go up to 30 hours
yep.
with no food,
No
nothing
water.
to drink, nothing to drink, no food, nothing. Sometimes 24, sometimes 30, 48. There was a point that I was 72 hours without anything because either you are tending to the patients and not taking your protection off so that you can survive this and continue to help, or you risk and there was nothing there. There was no water in front of us. We couldn't just get a bottle and open it and drink it. We couldn't. Everything
Then it was.
had to be disinfected. And so when I couldn't answer the phone for 12 hours, 6 hours, or a text for my kids were petrified. My daughters call me crying. Are you okay, mom? Please text us. Or mom, please call us. Just let us know you're okay. And the fear in their voices because I was not picking up. We talk about it now, and they're like, the first thing we thought is, oh my gosh, she probably has it. And she probably is intubated or she's probably in the hospital. So they were all scared until I started telling them, hey, we don't have our phones with us. We leave them
Mhm,
in our car, in our locker, whatever, but we don't have it. We cannot be texting. We cannot be answering phones or anything. So what the head nurse started doing for all the nurses and for all the medical doctors and NPs and all that is that she started having the family members call the front desk, like the nurse desk, and
mhm,
they will give updates of how we were doing to our kids, to our husbands, to our parents. That way, they weren't worried that something had happened to us, and that is why we weren't picking up. And I was very grateful for that because it allowed my children to be less worried. But that didn't happen until like 6 months into this or 8 months into this. So they had all those months of worrying. Mom, what if you catch it? Mom, what is going on? Mom. And, and what it does to them is that also it affects them in ways that if we don't talk about it, if we don't process it, we're never going to know how much it affected them, right? How much everything, because my kids now, they're like, we're so grateful, mom, that you are okay. We're so grateful that you didn't catch, that nothing happened to you, and that, you were able to help everyone, but we still have you.
mhm.
It was so
That
traumatic, but people are really, when they say, let it go, I mean, I was still here, right? I feel bad for the people that died, but we're still here. I'm like,
well,
are you kidding me?
oh, yeah.
Are you
Mhm.
kidding me? Do you have any idea how freaked out we were? How every day that we clocked in or something, or one of our gloves ripped, right? Or one of
Yeah.
our masks didn't wasn't put in the right place, how freaked out we were because the last thing we wanted was to catch it and then infect our family. So it's something that you cannot get over it just like that, miss. Just because, as they say, right?
No,
or or, or go live your life because the people that are gone, they probably want you to go on and live life. No,
yeah,
not with all this burden I'm carrying. No.
you know what I had to learn, Miss Nexie? Working in the medical field, for me, I look at it grieving. And it makes it crazy to some people, but it's something that happens that you never get over, but you learn to get through it, and you know, you just say, I did the best I could in that situation, and that's what helps me to go into everything and carry things with me. I always remind myself of I did the best that I could in that situation, and today I will do my best in this situation.
Exactly. And for me, Miss Marlene, because I remember in the beginning of it, they were saying, oh, it's only hitting like older people, right? Adults, is not on kids or young adults. It's just like older people and compromised, you know, people like with bad immunity or whatever, but not on kids. And it bothered me that they were saying that because that is a false narrative. Because we did have little tiny kids, 6, 7 year olds with COVID.
Mhm.
Yeah, they recouped, but they were as sick as our grown-ups. We had grandpas, grandparents that, yeah, we're sick too, but our patient zero was a 24-year-old that to this day, I'm telling you, I cannot get him out of my mind because he was so young and supposedly wasn't for young people. And I'm like, don't lie. Just tell him, stay away, protect it because it's going everywhere. It's not just adults or it's not just older people or compromised people. It's everybody. So just be careful. But the false narrative that they had was, or after 30, no kids. And I felt like saying, come to my hospital. Let me show you the wing of where we have all of our pediatric
Mm.
COVID cases so you can understand that it's everybody, not just compromised and not just old.
Yep. It's anybody.
Mhm.
Yep. So,
Exactly. And I think that pushed us into a place. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Miss Marlene, but I think that so much pain, uncertainty, and confusion has pushed us into a cocoon of our own. That if we don't break out of that, we're going to stay in there for a very long time, if not forever. We need to break that shell and start feeling again because I think all that pain made us start not wanting to feel
yep.
and not
Yep.
sympathize and not empathize and not nothing like that. Just go on with the flow. And it happened. Yeah, it hurts. Get over it. We need to get out of that phase and go back to being normal humans.
Yeah. But the thing about it, Miss Nexie, is that's why, like I said to you, that I knew I was getting to the space of feeling like I wanted to have a breakdown.
Hmm.
I was to the space I was about to have a breakdown, right? So
Uh-huh.
before I get to the space of having a breakdown, I'm going to do something for me, take care of my mental health, and I recently have joined a support group for medical staff, and that has been helping Miss Nexie. I can't tell you how much that has helped me just in the past 2 months.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That is
I-
amazing, Miss Marlene.
not like it's very underestimated. Like I believe like it should be something that you have to, if even if you don't want to, you have to. You have to. Like you don't have to stay for a long time, but you stay as long as you want to, but they usually have it for like 2 hours every Saturday. And
Uh-huh.
I always like to go to it, even if it's like just 15 minutes to talk to somebody or to share a story. Sometimes I go to listen, sometimes I go, it's like just like being in AA or any other support groups. Sometimes you get benefits from just listening to what somebody else has dealt with, and sometimes it's your time to share so that you can unpack some of the heaviness. And it doesn't matter how much supportive and loving people that you have in your life, if they don't understand it, you're wasting your breath because, like, if somebody's just listening, that's but
That's just
it's not like when somebody who is medical will say, like, "Did you do this? Did you do this? I did this, and I did CPR, and they still passed it." Other people are like, "Well, they don't get it." But when
mhm.
medical, you did everything. Stop beating yourself up. Free yourself from that. It You did your best.
Exactly.
Uh-oh, you're
Scared or overwhelmed, or you didn't feel the panic that we did. No, we know everybody did that. Everybody was scared. Everybody was panicked. They had no idea. But we had to deal with the side that not many people had to deal with, which was the side of losing all of them and watching them go. And I think
Mhm.
that's the difference because hearing about 200,000 here, 100,000 there, 5,000 in this state, or 20,000 in this other, that's one thing. But knowing that in the state that they call, you were part of at least 1,000, 2,000 of those deaths, it's a lot to
Yeah,
deal with. I don't care who you are, how tough you are, how strong you are, or how you deal with anything. That breaks you, no matter what. That
that
breaks you.
um that's what I said. I'm working on a few things because you already know, Miss Nexie, I'm transitioning some stuff for coaching and motivational speaking. So I already feel like I'm transitioning out of that. But it's hard when you love the work so much. But I think it's time for me to do more of focusing on doing some support for medical staff and support for other people, instead of doing the hands-on work now. That I feel like I'm there in my life. I haven't even told my relatives or friends, like, I'm giving you guys like an exclusive, like nobody even
They'll find out tomorrow.
knows they're what? Call me.
Oh yeah, I can hear that. I can hear that, Miss Marlene. What did you? Why didn't you tell me? Call me right now. But
Yeah,
again, at least you're gonna help us in in a way we need you to help us now, which is through therapy, coaching, whatever. You're still gonna be in the medical community helping one way or another. One, we're not gonna let you go.
yeah, they're
You're
not.
not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm always going to be a medical woman, but at the end of it, I think that it's important, these discussions that we have, Miss Nexie, it's really to let everybody know and understand that you're not alone. That was something that oh, I'm getting emotional. Um that was something,
Don't.
yeah, because my lips started to quiver. Um
Nope.
So that's something that it's still hard, and a lot of people don't understand that. Um, there's a lot of people suffering. There's a lot of people who are not.
Hmm.
So I always say that, especially like if you have to deal with people like, people who are medical staff. Be kind, be nice, because you really don't know what they're dealing with. Like, people will think that, oh, you're slacking and you have nothing to do. Um, Sometimes people don't know that sometimes you could have literally like uh 17 and up patient.
Yep.
It's like, they're
Or
doing that they
Miss
can.
Marlene, sometimes when they say, "You God, you're so rude," but they don't know that right before you came to ask whatever it is that they needed, you just told someone that their loved one is gone. And you
Yeah,
had to hear that and you had to break that news. So a lot of times people get upset with medical, with hospitals or clinics or stuff like that. But try the best you can to be a little bit more understanding because even though you are
yeah,
feel good, which is why you're there, going on. Sometimes jovial or the happiest to be. We are always courteous, but we're not going to be as happy as you would like us to be because we're probably dealing with
Mm-hmm. It's true, and that's why I say, we talked a lot about medical
Mhm.
staffing because that's what me and Miss Mexi are, but not just us. Anybody, this channel is about trauma healing. So whatever it is that has impacted you, like grief, um, seeing traumatic things, whatever your thing is that was hard for you, ABUSC in all of its forms. It's
Mhm.
a lot of things that people have dealt with. What does it say? That people are swallowing it or hiding it, pushing it to the back of the closet because it's so heavy to unpack that they don't want to
Mhm.
relive pain again. But I promise you guys that when you at least, you know, say this, and this, and this, and this happened, even if you can't say it all at once, um, but at least taking one thing at a time and talking about it, how you felt about it, and then saying what has really helped me, Miss Nexty, is saying at that day, at that time, I did the best that I could. And like it's in grief, I like to remind myself that um, they loved me and I loved them. I know that this is a very gray area and they say you shouldn't, but even patients that I really loved, and then when they pass, I still tell myself that too. I said they were a good person, and for the
Mhm.
brief amount that I knew them, I love them. They're a good person, and I'm gonna do my best because I want to be there for the next person that's just like them. So
Mhm.
that
E-
keeps me going. So,
Exactly. And you know, Miss Marlene, I think that like I'm like a lot of people. I think that because you don't want to deal with that pain, you don't want to revive that trauma. You want to go back to where you were before. But what I had learned from therapy and all of that is that, yeah, it is painful to bring all of that back, especially if it's a case of grape, right? If it's a
hmm
case of grape and you have to revive all of that, it is painful. It traumatizes you all over again. But the difference now, once you start therapy and saying it out loud, is that now you're going to get the help that you need, not to forget it, because you will never forget something like that. Not to be 100% happy, because you will never be able to do that. But they're going to give you the tools that you need to work to be able to live with that trauma and be
hmm
able to, reach it out, say it without breaking apart. So when I started, again, I didn't want to do it because when I went to the therapy that they sent us, because it was mandatory from the hospital, I only touched the bare minimum because I knew I had to go back to work. I knew I was not going to have at least a month off to deal with it, right? I was not going to be able to process that. And I'm not the type of person that breaks down today and is fine tomorrow. So I was like, just the minimum so I can go back to work. I deal with it later, which is what I used to tell myself. When somebody will pass away, it will hurt me. And I would say, nope, I deal with it later. Another day. I can't do it right now. I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. And bed two is gone. It went at 11. Oh, okay. All right. I just noted. I don't have to go to bed five or bed 11 or whatever. And so you put everything in the back of your head. Now that I have this whole year off, I need to work on that. I need to dig in super, super deep and get the tools that I need to be able to reconstruct at least partially, everything that was taken from us in C19, at least partial.
Yeah, at least partial, and before that, and prior to it, because that's a very important thing, that a lot of things happened in C19, that's true, but I think a lot of things were already brewing, you know? I think
Yeah.
everybody had things that they were already, like, dealing with collectively, that
Mhm.
it just exacerbated the situation, and
Yep.
we really need to, you know, start. That's why I said, my therapist was so amazing. I will always love my therapist, Dr. Kathleen. Like Miss Nexie, I'm literally telling you that I had the correct, right person, because Dr. Kathleen, she became a grandma to me. She was a friend. She was everything that I needed her to be at that time. Um,
And
you know,
and tough as nails, not to let you
yeah,
get away with things.
yeah. She was everything I needed. Like, she was a therapist when she needed to be a therapist. She was a friend. She was a pit bull. She was like, "Oh no, that's not what we're gonna do." You know, I got the right one for me. Yeah. She's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the thing that I hear a lot of people. It didn't work for me. It didn't help me. Oh no, I don't like it. I mean, I'm not gonna go talk to someone so because they haven't found the right person for them, right? They haven't found the right therapist or the right type of therapy. Sometimes it doesn't have to be someone that you go sit with and talk to for hours. It can be any other kind of therapy, but you
Mhm.
have to try different ones so that you can find out which one works for you. Because that's what I had to do. I had to, mine was more like mandatory because of the field that I was going into. And I was like, I got this. I know him. He's cool. We're just going to sit there, eat lunch. I'll get some sodas. We can talk about books. And then he said, oh, no, no, no. That's not what you're here for. And I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, no, no. We're here for your therapy. I'm like, yeah, but I don't need it. This just part of my class, but I don't think I need it. And he says, oh, no, yes, you do. And I was
Mm.
like, what? No, I don't. He's like, okay. I got out of that office. I was pissed off, went to my counselor. I said, hey, what's going on? You need to take it. And I went back and I wouldn't open up. And he would say, okay, I'll be here tomorrow whenever you're ready. I'll be like, I
Mhm.
already told you everything. No, you haven't. I was like, get out, slam that door, pissed off.
Yeah. Oh, you know what my therapist told me? That's when really, Miss Nixie, I broke, because she said she said she said, "Oh, fine." She said, "You could just keep paying me all this money to lie to me." All right. She said, "I'm cool with it. You can keep." She said, "You can pay my car payment this month." Fine. All right. Like, you don't want help? Hey, cool. She said, "It's your world."
No, no, no. But listen, I didn't need any help. That's the thing that you don't understand, Miss Marlene. I was perfect.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't say it. I told him, I said, I don't get what you're saying that I need help. I don't need anything. I'm fine. I'm perfect. And he looked at me and started writing. I'm like, what are you writing? Stop writing. He's like, oh, now that bothers you too. Oh, but there's nothing wrong with you, right? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, I don't know why I'm here. I know it's part of the class, whatever. So just mark me here and we can have lunch or we can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And when he said, okay, I'll sit here. We have what? You just started. We have about 2 years, right? And I'm looking at him. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, we have about 2 years. So take your time. I'm going to be here. This will take as long as you want it to take. And then,
Yeah.
but the funny thing is like, yeah. So when he said, so tell me about your mom. Oh, yeah, yeah. She wasn't in my life. She left me when I was 5, but I'm okay. And he's like, writing, writing. I'm like, what are you writing so much about? And he kept on coming back. So yeah, let's talk about your mom. What is there to talk about? I'm okay. I'm cool. She's fine. I'm fine. And he will say again, okay, we have 2 years. Actually, no, a year and a half now. So take your time. And that will make me so mad because I was like, I'm gonna waste 2 years with this dude. I already been here 6 months. Like, what the heck? So once I decided to say, you know what? I'm not gonna get out of here if I don't talk, if I don't actually do my work. That's when all the things that I didn't have wrong with me started coming out. The
Yeah,
damage that certain things do to you, that you have even that you don't have an idea why you behave a certain way, or why
yes,
you do the things that you do, some little quirks that you have, like closing the door 2 to 3 times, making sure it's locked like 3 to 4 times. Those things you don't understand where they come from or why you do it until you start doing your work on you. That's when you learn why or the why of those behaviors and the what
yeah,
to do with them.
yeah. It's the actually I think it's the acceptance. It's the
Hmm.
I think that that's a very deep thing. It's getting to the space of acceptance. Somebody in the chat has asked, have you ever taken the ACEs survey?
The what?
ACEs.
No.
Okay. We'll do some research on that, Eric. He's at.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I haven't.
Okay.
Huh.
So we'll look into that, Eric, and we'll let you know next week. But
Yeah.
I wanted to say that, Miss Nexty, that it's not easy and it takes a lot of courage. Everybody who's here, it takes courage to face pain, trauma, loss, and even resetting, like changes in your life, new things. C-19 did that too. Many people lost their jobs. Some people lost their
Their
homes,
livelihood. Hmm.
livelihoods. Some people had to move. So much differences happened to them in their life. So, it's not always just about loss, as in losing people. Sometimes that loss can mean having a new life. And that was a thing for me as well. Betsy. It's not just the grieving part, but it's change of your life. That your life will never be the same that it was previously.
Yeah, we lost. I think we lost our innocence when it came to a massive. Um, it's like when you have a catastrophe, like an earthquake, and you see all this chaos or a war. You lose your innocence in the process of that. And what I mean about that, I don't mean innocence as you don't know anything. You're a little girl. No, I mean that you're so comfortable in your surroundings and you're so comfortable leaving that you're so innocent of chaos that you feel that every day is going to be the same, happy, and nothing will ever happen, nothing will ever touch you. And I think that from the C-19 on, everything or anything can happen. So that innocence we had of everything is happy and beautiful and everything, it's gone.
Yeah. You know, you're this next year. One thing that C-19 taught me is to, because I'm a person, I don't really like to talk about it, but I'm a very sensitive person. And not because I try to be, but because I've been through so many things in my life. Um, I'm very, how would I say it? I'm very like the people who matter to me. I don't play about those things because at any moment they could be not around anymore. So if other people may think I'm too sensitive, I don't think so. I think it makes me I'm very aware. I'm
Hmm.
very the person like if I don't hear from you by 2 days, I'm gonna like freak out. Are you okay? Did you eat? Like I am that person. Like for real, for real. I'm that person. Like, did you eat? Did you drink? Who are you around? Did you? No, I'm
Why
gonna
haven't
ask.
you text? Why haven't you called? Why haven't you text? Right? You're freaking out that something will happen.
I feel like I'm always asking all of the, you know, I hate to say it, but I do treat people like patients.
When you're in the medical field, you do, and that's normal. By the way, it's a normal thing.
Like, did you eat? Did you drink? When is the last time you pooped?
Yeah, no, my kids, mom, I'm not your patient. Oh, mom, he's not your patient when I'm talking to the husbands. My sisters, we're not at work, I'm okay. Oh, yeah, 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 I'm sorry. So, yeah, for us, everybody's a patient, whether they like it or not.
Only because that's just who we are. And if you love people, you're going to be concerned about that. But I have to learn to shut that off. And that's something that therapy has helped me to turn that off. You can't 100% turn it off because of what you know, but I try my best that sometimes, like, okay, we don't need medical Marlene. Right now, we need sister Marlene or we need friend Marlene. You know what I mean? I've had to learn that I can't stop being what you do for work and just be a friend right now. Just be this, just be this person or whoever you are to people. Just be that in that moment.
Eh,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's gone for me. It's been years. I'm always on guard, and we have little ones, regular and special needs, Miss Marlene. We've had those. They're grown now, but I was always very paranoid of my children, especially like if I was having a party here home or we were invited somewhere. I was on top of my kids, like where my kids at. I don't drink. I normally don't drink, but I was even less, you know, likely or wanting or willing to drink because I had to keep an eye on my kids. There's a lot of people here, blah blah blah. And I remember on one of the parties, one of the lady that was throwing the party said to me like, "Relax. They're having a great time. They're over there playing. They're playing on the slide or whatever. It's okay. Just have fun. Why can't you just relax and have fun?" And I looked at her and I was like, "What?" And I said, "I can't." I said, "I work in a field with children where I see the worst of humanity done to them sometimes. So I cannot relax and I cannot just let go." So I was always super vigilant with my kids because of the things that we see. The things that some children unfortunately have to go through because I don't know why, but I could never relax. And with my grandchild, I'm so grateful that my daughter doesn't work right now. She's finishing up her master's degree, so she's at home with the baby, and she's not going to go back until she can work from home. And so I'm very grateful for that because, again, I see so many horrible things done to them that I wouldn't want my grandchild to go anywhere. So I was never able to just relax. I was always that, you know, pediatrician. I was always that medical person. I was always that. And it traumatizes you.
Mhm.
You can never be the same. So all those things, Miss Marlene, I have had also to work through, through therapy and kind of like, okay, not everything is like that. Yeah, you have to be guarded, but you also have to allow your kids to enjoy. You don't have to tell them how fearful you are of something happening to them. You can protect them without freaking them out or traumatizing them, right? So those through therapy, I had to learn all of that, how to be a parent, even though I was afraid, petrified, or whatever. But I learned not to show it so that they didn't grow up, stressed out, fearful, or traumatized by me. And therapy helped me with that, you know? So
Yeah.
some things like C19 and what you do for a living affect you. And if you can lend an ear to someone, even if you're not in that field, but just lend the ear, let them talk, you will be helping so much more than you will ever know.
Yeah. You're so right about that, Miss Nexty, because oh, it's just so many people are going through so many things. I'll just say it that way.
Mhm,
I think topic for us to talk about next week will be mental health. Um, Mental health is something that a lot of people don't understand how important mental health is until you have a mental health breakdown. I think we need
mhm.
to about that next week. But Miss Nexie, do you have any final words for this sip and chat?
You know what? Just again, like what I said earlier, if you know someone or have someone that is going through something, again, just don't be judgmental. Just listen to them if you can. You know, no judgment, lend an ear, help them when you can. And if you cannot, don't be negative or rude or anything because some people need more help than you and I need,
Mhm.
right? Because we don't know what other people are going through. As you said, some people are not as vocal as you and I are. A lot of people are very, reserved when it comes to that because they don't like the world to know what they're going through. You and I don't have that problem. We can literally talk about anything. But just, be, I don't know, someone that they can rely on that, again, it's just to even just sit there without a word. Just make sure that you're that person for someone.
Yeah. Like we always say, you never know what somebody is going through. So it doesn't take anything from us to be kind, but also, loved ones, we also need to be kind to ourselves. Okay? It doesn't make you a punk. It doesn't make you weird. It doesn't make you less of a man or less of a woman. It just means that you're a woman or a man that doesn't want to continue to be miserable or carry these heavy things, that it's okay to talk about it with the right people. I don't mean talk about it with everybody, but talk about it with supportive, encouraging people that is not going to judge you. And also, me and Miss Nexie were both women of faith. We both believe. So I think that makes a difference too.
Mhm.
In in talking about things, because we're not everything I think should be talked about, but also we do add in that there are certain things that you have to give to whatever it is that you
Yes,
believe in.
for us, it's between us and God.
Mhm.
I leave it to
Yeah.
them. I give it to Him, and I say, "Hey, you deal with this one, because if I do, I'm gonna go to jail." Just
Say,
kidding. I'm not
"You're
gonna
the
do very good in prison.
next thing I would say, I'm doing the thing, the mind thing. I'm gonna have to walk, walk.
Well, Miss Marlene, thank you for having me, and again allowing me the opportunity to, use my words and my voice to, you know, kind of help someone and help myself in the process. I thank you very much for allowing me on your platform. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you so much, Miss Nexie. It's always pleasant. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, to the Sip and Chat, where we talk about trauma healing. This week, we talked about, you know, all of the things of what would they call it? We did a stew, a medley of different, but ultimately, it's very important for us to focus in on our healing journey and whatever it is that you need right now. I just want you to think about something that you personally need because you're a loved one and it
Hmm.
has to, okay?
Yeah. And just, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. And any topic or anything that you have in mind, just leave it on the comments and we can always go there. Right, Miss Marlene?
We can always go there, but we go there a little bit, but we really go there with the in the members. So if you want to hear
Yes.
more deeper topics, I go there deeper in the
Members
membership.
only. Okay, everyone, have a wonderful night. Miss Marlene, have a good night. I hope you rest and have a wonderful day tomorrow. Same for all the loved ones. Have a wonderful day. And thank you for tuning in to Miss Marlene Sip and Chat.
Thank you so much, Miss Nexie. Oh, thank you so much, Eric, and everybody who sent me jewels, um, and anybody who joined my channel membership. And shout out to all my mods who are very supportive and keep my chat clean. Thank you, Realist and Chill Crew and Sirius, and always that girl and Geo. Anybody who it keeps my chat clean. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. And to all of the loved ones, be sure that you take care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye, Miss Marlene.
Okay.